The girl was walking alone at dusk. The road was quiet. Dust followed her feet. She had no food in her basket and no joy in her chest. People passed her every day and never stopped. On that evening, a strange old woman appeared on the path. No one saw where she came from. One moment the road was empty. The next moment the old woman was there. Her back was bent. Her eyes were sharp. Her voice was calm and heavy. She called the girl by name, even though they had never met. The girl froze. The old woman smiled slowly and opened her hand. Inside her palm was a small mirror. It was round. It was old. It was warm. The old woman said the mirror was not for beauty, but beauty would come. She said the mirror was not for love, but love would follow. She said the mirror was not free. Then she spoke one clear sentence. "Never remove it." The girl did not understand. The old woman placed the mirror into the girl's hand. The mirror felt alive. The old woman repeated the words, "Never remove it." The wind grew still. The road went silent. The old woman stepped closer and touched the girl's forehead. Her finger was cold. Her voice dropped lower. She warned her that the mirror would open doors. She warned her that people would change. She warned her that happiness would come fast and leave faster. Then she said it again, slowly, clearly, without mercy. "Never remove it." The girl nodded, afraid and confused. She asked nothing. She held the mirror tight. When she looked up again, the old woman was already walking away. 1 step, 2 steps, then smoke, then air, then nothing. The road was empty again. The girl stood alone, holding the mirror, with the warning echoing in her ears. Before the mirror, the girl was invisible. That was the truth of her life. In the village, people looked past her as if she was smoke. Men passed her without slowing their steps. Women whispered that she had nothing to offer. Mothers pushed their sons away from her path. No one chose her. No one waited for her. No one called her name with warmth. She tried to smile. The smiles were ignored. She tried to help. Her hands were taken, but her heart was not. She sat at gatherings and no one saved her a seat. She walked in the market and no one asked her price. At night, she lay on her mat and listened to other women laugh with husbands and children. Her chest hurt with a quiet pain. She wanted one thing, not gold, not status, not power. She wanted true love. One man who would see her and stay. One man who would choose her when others were watching. That was all she asked from life. After the old woman disappeared, the girl returned to the village with the mirror hidden under her cloth. She remembered the warning. She remembered the cold finger on her forehead. She remembered the words, "Never remove it." She tied the mirror close to her skin. She did not look at it. She did not show it. Still, something began to change. People started to notice her walk. Men slowed their steps. Eyes followed her. Whispers shifted in tone. The girl did not understand why. She remained the same inside, lonely, hopeful, careful. Every night she touched the mirror through the cloth and repeated the rule so she would not forget. "Never remove it." Yet even with the change, no one truly wanted her. They smiled but did not stay. They praised but did not choose. Her heart stayed empty. The mirror had not given her love, only attention. And attention was not enough. She waited. She hoped. She endured the looks and the silence. She held on to the rule because it was the only thing that felt certain in a life that had never chosen her. The truth revealed itself slowly, like a wound that opens over time. The girl noticed that whenever someone came close to her, their life improved. Not a little, not by chance. It was clear. It was fast. It was loud. A woman who borrowed her mat sold more goods the next day. A man who shared a meal with her found work by morning. Anyone who spent time with her smiled wider, stood taller. walked prouder. Fortune followed them like a shadow. The village began to speak. They said she carried luck. They said her presence opened paths. They said touching her brought favor. People came closer now, not for her heart, but for what followed her. And still, the girl gained nothing. Her clothes stayed thin. Her roof still leaked. Her bed was still cold at night. She watched others rise while she remained where she was. She watched smiles bloom on faces that never looked back at her. She touched the mirror often now. She began to understand. The mirror was the source. It was feeding the world through her, but never feeding her. She remembered the warning. She whispered it in the dark. Never remove it. She tried to test the truth without breaking the rule. She sat beside a poor man, his basket filled by sunset. She greeted a tired trader. His goods doubled. Each time, the pattern stayed the same. They gained. She did not. The village no longer saw her as unwanted. They saw her as useful. That truth cut deeper than rejection. Being ignored had hurt. Being used hurt more. She realized then that anyone who engaged with her gained in life, while she remained empty-handed. She was the door, not the destination. She was the road, not the home. Still, she hoped love could come. Still, she believed someone might stay without taking. She held on to the rule as if it were her last protection. Never remove it. Because without it, she feared she would lose even the little value the world had finally given her. The first man came boldly. He did not hesitate. He did not whisper. He stood in the center of the village and called her beautiful. People turned. People watched. The girl's heart jumped. No man had ever spoken her name with pride before. He brought her gifts. Small gifts at first, then bigger ones. He promised love. He promised marriage. He promised a future that had never been offered to her. She believed him because she wanted to. She believed him because hope is hungry. He walked with her openly. As long as he did, his life bloomed. His business grew. His pockets filled. His name rose. The village clapped him on the back. They said he was blessed. The girl stayed the same. At night, she touched the mirror and reminded herself, never remove it. Then the change came. Quiet at first. He stopped holding her hand. He stopped speaking her name. One morning, he stood before the village and laughed. He said she was only a charm. He said he never loved her. He said her purpose was done. People watched. People listened. Shame burned her face. He turned away without fear. His wealth followed him. His smile stayed. He left the village richer than he arrived. She stayed behind, empty and exposed. The laughter echoed long after he was gone. That night she cried until her chest hurt. Still, she did not break the rule. Never remove it. Because even in pain, she believed another man might come. Another man might love her for herself, not for what followed her shadow. The second man arrived faster. He did not bother with long promises. He said he had heard stories. He said he believed them. He said he would treat her better than the first. The village watched closely this time. Some smiled. Some shook their heads. The girl felt fear, but she felt hope too. Hope is stubborn. He moved into her life quickly. As he did, his fortune exploded. His animals multiplied. His name spread beyond the village. People praised his wisdom. They praised his choice. The girl remained unchanged. She repeated the rule every morning and every night. Never remove it. The second man grew impatient. He began to mock her. He told others she was empty inside. He told them she was only a source. Then he went further. In the open market, he accused her of trapping men. He called her a liar. He said her love was fake. The crowd laughed. The humiliation was sharp and public. She stood silent as he took all he could and left her with nothing. He walked away, richer, louder, and crueler than the first. The village no longer pitied her. They blamed her. They said she invited her own shame. She returned home alone. Her heart hardened a little. Her hope thinned. Still, she held on to the rule because it was all she had left. Never remove it. Even as the laughter followed her steps, the third man came while the village was watching. No one hid their curiosity anymore. Whispers followed the girl like flies. Children pointed. Elders observed. Everyone wanted to see how it would end this time. The man approached with caution, not kindness. He spoke softly, but his eyes measured her. He promised care, not love. The girl felt tired. Her heart was bruised. Still, she nodded. As he stayed near her, his success rose. Crops flourished, doors opened, respect gathered around him. People said it was proof that the stories were true. The girl began to lose hope. She walked slower. She spoke less. She no longer imagined weddings or children. She only endured the days. She whispered the rule like a prayer. Never remove it. The third man did not even pretend in the end. He announced publicly that she was only a path to fortune. He thanked her loudly and left without shame. The crowd murmured. No one defended her. She stood alone in the dust as the village turned its back. Hope slipped from her hands. After the third man, men stopped pretending. They no longer brought flowers. They no longer spoke of marriage. They came openly for interest. They came for gain. They came because everyone knew what followed her. At first, she refused. She closed her door. She lowered her eyes. She said no with a weak voice. But hunger is loud. Loneliness is louder. The nights were long. The shame was already heavy. Saying no did not protect her anymore. So she accepted. Men came, stayed briefly, and left quickly. Each one rose. Each one prospered. Each one forgot her name. The village watched it happen again and again. There was no mystery now, only use. People pointed at her in daylight. They whispered at night. Mothers warned their daughters not to be like her. Elders shook their heads as she passed. Her shame was public and visible. It followed her everywhere. Inside, she felt hollow. She no longer cried. Tears require hope. She was tired of hoping. Still, every night before sleep, she touched the mirror. Her fingers shook. Her voice was weak. But she said the words. She had nothing else. Never remove it. Because without it, she feared she would have nothing at all. No value, no purpose, no reason for anyone to even look at her. She became known but not loved, desired but not chosen, used but never held, and the mirror stayed silent against her skin, waiting. The change came without warning. One morning, the girl woke up and the air felt different. When she stepped outside, people froze. Conversations stopped. Eyes widened. Silence fell like a blanket. Her beauty had transformed. It was not small. It was not gentle. It was overwhelming. Her skin glowed. Her face pulled attention like fire in the dark. Her walk commanded space. People who once insulted her now bowed their heads. Women stared in disbelief. Men forgot how to speak. The village was shocked. Doors opened for her without knocking. Gifts arrived without request. People offered her seats, food, praise, protection. Her status rose higher than any man who had ever used her. For the first time, power wrapped itself around her name. She felt it. She knew it came from the mirror. She touched it often now. It felt hotter, heavier, alive, and still the rule remained. Never remove it. Men who came near her now did not just gain small fortunes. They rose instantly, then fell back when she turned away. She no longer chased anyone. People chased her. The village changed its song. They called her blessed. They called her chosen. They forgot their insults. They forgot their laughter. Inside, her heart felt confused. The pain was still there, buried under attention. Power felt good, but it felt cold. She wondered if this was the reward for endurance or the beginning of something worse. Every night she repeated the words, afraid of what would happen if she did not. Never remove it! Because now she understood. The mirror was no longer just protecting her. It was ruling her. And the village was watching closely, waiting to see how far she would rise and how hard she might fall. With power came pressure. People wanted more. Men wanted closer access. Women wanted secrets. Everyone believed the mirror was the reason, even though they never saw it. One evening, during a crowded celebration, a jealous woman grabbed her cloth. The mirror slipped. It almost fell. The crowd gasped. Fear shot through the girl's body like fire. For a moment, she hesitated. Her fingers loosened. That was enough. The ground shook. The air screamed. The man nearest to her collapsed, his fortune vanishing in seconds. Another fell screaming as his riches burned away. Prosperity turned into panic. The village ran. She clutched the mirror back to her chest. Shaking, she remembered the rule too late. Never remove it. The punishment was public and cruel. The village now feared her. Power turned into terror. People avoided her path. They locked doors when she passed. Whispers changed into warnings. Her beauty remained, but it frightened instead of attracting. She stood alone again, surrounded by fear instead of laughter. The mirror burned against her skin. She knew the price was not finished. When fear replaced praise, one man returned. He came quietly. No crowd followed him. No whispers announced him. He walked into the village like someone who remembered the dust, like someone who remembered her before everything. He was the man from long ago, before the mirror, before the beauty, before the stories. He was the one who once sat beside her and gained nothing. His life had not changed because of her. His hands were still rough. His clothes were still simple. He looked at her and did not flinch. The village watched from far away, waiting for him to rise, waiting for his fortune to explode. Nothing happened. No wind, no miracle, no sudden wealth. The mirror stayed silent. He spoke her name softly, not proudly, not loudly, just honestly. He said he had always seen her. He said he never needed anything from her. He said he left once because he was ashamed he had nothing to offer, not because she lacked value. She felt something tighten in her chest, something old, something real. She touched the mirror by habit and whispered the rule, even now. Never remove it. He shook his head gently. He told her he did not want the beauty. He did not want the power. He did not want what followed her shadow. He only wanted her, even if the village never bowed again. For the first time in many seasons, nothing was taken from her. Nothing was gained from her. He stayed exactly the same, and that scared her more than all the punishment before, because now she had something real to lose. The night was quiet when she made the choice. No crowd, no whispers, only the moon and her breath. The mirror pressed heavy against her skin, warm and demanding. Power promised safety. Power promised silence from hunger. Power promised that no one would ever use her again. But power had never held her hand without taking something. The man waited. He did not beg. He did not warn. He stood as he always had, empty-handed, honest. She remembered the old woman's voice. She remembered the cold finger. She remembered the words that had ruled her life. Never remove it. Her hands shook. Tears fell. The village slept, unaware that a legend was ending. Slowly, painfully, she untied the cloth. The mirror touched air. The heat burned her palm. The world seemed to hold its breath. She broke the rule. The mirror cracked. Light died. Beauty drained from her face like water into dust. Power fled. Silence returned. She fell to her knees, plain and small again. The man stepped forward and held her. Nothing changed for him. Nothing rose. Nothing fell. For the first time, she was chosen without magic. They left the village quietly. No one stopped them. Without the mirror, she was ordinary again. No glow, no fear, no power. Just a woman and a man walking side by side. Life became simple. They built a small home. They worked with their hands. Some days were hard. Some nights were long. But laughter returned slowly. Love grew without reward. No door opened by magic. No fortune fell from the sky. The mirror was buried where no one would find it. The village forgot her beauty. They forgot their fear. But the story stayed. Elders tell it softly by firelight. They say beauty that feeds others will starve the one who carries it. They say power that demands obedience will always ask for more. And they end with a simple truth. Love that gives nothing back is not love. Love that stays without gain is the only one that lasts.